Hey guys, can you hear me? So, so just got to Sedona a couple of days ago. I'll share a little update with you guys in terms of what I'm up to, and you can ask me anything after. Just got to Sedona. The idea is, the sensation, the inspiration is, what wants to be created is a more continual environment, a more continual retreat experience where we don't just come together for a few days. I mean, that's great, that's beautiful. But the new depth, the more emphasized depth that I want to be sharing, that I feel inspired to share, this type of clarity, this type of integration, this type of mastery requires someone to be either inherently very disciplined or put someone in an environment where discipline is naturally inspired and they don't have to overcome as many of their habits and tendencies and distractions. The environment naturally inspires it. A good example of this is, go to a bar with a buddy of yours or a couple of friends and you're going to be rowdy. Then take yourselves out of the bar, and unless you drank too much, if you move into the church next door, everyone will naturally become quiet. Anurag uses this example quite a bit. And this is the power of environment, this is the power of setting the stage, okay? I have found that in my work, in my teachings, people simply are not disciplined enough, inherently inspired or dedicated enough. Life just takes over, life as it is. Their predominant default state simply takes over. Discipline is not a bad word at all. Discipline is a great word. You need to learn to love it. That's the thing. See, this is the society we don't want to commit to anything. It needs to be exactly the way that, that our minds can understand it. It needs to be worded exactly so that we can feel okay about ourselves. None of that nonsense is going to work if you want freedom. If you want this level of freedom, you need to work for it. You need to commit. You need to be disciplined. You need to choose to commit. And little words and little terminologies cannot put you off. That cannot be an excuse anymore. That cannot be a reason. However, I understand the mind is tenacious. Okay, I understand. So, to set the environment, to set the stage for this, I've come to Sedona and I'm just following the clues as they come up. Mostly I'm just in bliss. Well, pretty much all the time. Um, but creation happens. Creation creates itself, and so I am a witness to this, and it's participating. This body is participating. This mind is participating. Inspiration is participating. And I'm not in resistance to anything, so it's flowing very well. Things are happening. There's many things happening without any sense of doership or ownership of any of it. So to report on it at present, I'm looking at land to lower the barrier for people to come be in Sedona for longer periods of time. So imagine you being able to take off a month from your daily activities. You just want to be in a retreat environment for a month. You want to be with a rich, awake community. As awake as they get, anyway. And you resonate with Sedona. I mean, it's an amazing place. There is this energy here. It's a great template within the illusion of this world to play in and to discover yourself and to go really deep. So you want to come to this sort of season of teachings instead of a isolated retreat. But the problem is, you know, Airbnb, housing, accommodation, finances. So I want to find a piece of land where we can put a bunch of yurts where you can stay comfortably for a month, 2 months, 3 months at a time to really engage yourself in such a community and environment. And we'd make it really accessible and affordable compared to Airbnb and hotels and what have you. You know, people won't be able to book hotels for 2 months in their present condition or mindset. But to be here, to be at this land with 100, 200 other people that are also taking a month or 2 months or 3 months out of their life to be together and to come to daily meetings or almost daily meetings and to do the meditations and to show up at the morning gatherings and or the afternoon gatherings, who knows, and to do the yoga and maybe some of the complementary aspects that will be delivered by, say, Ryan, one of my lead facilitators, and Anurag. So I'm just trying to paint you a picture of what it would be like to come here. It'd be a much more cohesive environment for you to drop into and go deep, because it'd be inspired. The whole community, the whole environment would be set up in this way to take away 90% of your lethargy, your complacency, the conditioned mind that seeks distraction all the time. We're going to be taking this away from you in a very pleasant, blissful way. We're going to be helping you to go really deep, okay, against your own mind's conditioned will for distraction. We're just going to make it as easy on you as we can. So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is what I've previously called Project Infinity, for those who remember the unveiling in Sedona last year of Trinfinity website, the Trinfinity project. I can't say anything more about this, but it is truly exciting for mankind, and it is making progress all by itself. It's just effortlessly happening. So hopefully within a month we'll be able to unveil something to you guys that will blow your minds. Hopefully, maybe not. Who cares? Creation is creating itself, and we're the joyful witness / participant of it. Also, the Sedona experiment is starting here. I selected 12 participants to be going through an intensive with me for 2 weeks straight every day. We're just going to go meet outside at certain places, and what we're going to be focusing on is the aspect of a teaching that I wish to emphasize more to the public, but it is kind of intense. It's kind of, in a sense, extreme or absolute. It's not for everybody, and I want to gather more data. I want to gather more experience from an intellectual standpoint, because I can share this from my heart or from beyond the heart, and that's no problem, and that's most likely will happen anyway. But I want to gather as much data as well on an interpersonal, intellectual level to see how people respond to being focused into becoming the greater self and dropping the ego. And beyond that, to realize the absolute, beyond the self, to realize the absolute, that which is prior to even the great I am, of the grand illusion of all that there is. This is a very specific pointing. A lot of people think they know what this entails, but they don't. And I want more people to understand what this means. It's the most liberating realization I've ever come across. It's the most profound because it's the only absolute truth. It's the only absolute. So for these 2 weeks, we're going to be exploring a much greater intensity, a boot camp experience of really having these 12 people shed their skin, shed their personality, shed their ego, shed their mind, shed their distractions, and come fully into the true, pure I experience, or the true naked I am experience. That which knows, the knower knowing itself, and the world and the body, identification disappearing, bliss arising. And then from that point, trampoline into that which is prior to even the I am, that which knows, even that aware beingness, which is the substratum of everything, beyond beingness. Again, this is not for everybody. Therefore, I want to test it out, and we're going to be documenting this. We're going to be transcribing it. Corey Katuna is going to create a book, co-orchestrate a book with me that will report on this experiment, most likely, and that will have interviews of the participants and large portions of the transcripts, so that you can go through this journey with us later on, to get a glimpse of what the Sedona experiment was like. Sort of a written documentary of sorts, because I think it'd be really helpful to go back to the roots of this, years from now, to be able to see how this type of a teaching or modality evolved using real-life guinea pigs. So this will be happening starting in a few days, and it will go on for 2 weeks, and then there will be a week between that and the Sedona retreat. I encourage you all to sign up for the Sedona retreat, May 1st through 5th, and May 6th and 7th. So there's a 5-day intensive retreat, and then there's a 2-day, somewhat more accessible retreat. And you can make it a 7-day if you want to as well. So come be with us if you feel resonance in regards to this particular topic, mostly self-realization. There will be some integration of empowerment, but it will be explained from the angle of having emphasized the true you beyond all your doubts, beyond all your shadows, beyond all your complications and distractions and arguments and excuses, beyond all your weaknesses. You will realize yourself. And you can find this radiance always, because it is you. Okay. Are there any questions for me personally? I'll pick out the ones that resonate or jump out at me. Where are you on your personal journey? Words. I could say what personal journey? There's very little left of me, and it's the most profound blissful thing to have been able to give myself permission to go through this transition. Finally, I've always wanted to, and now I've said yes to it energetically and timing wise, in terms of my theme and my call it purpose or calling in life. I had to go through everything that I went through in order to be able to teach people what I was able to teach and share in the past few years. But the tension that I had to hold within myself to be able to be interested and fascinated in these topics, it's like a deliberate delusion. It's like signing up for a particular layer of unconsciousness, like a sheath covering the purity of your beingness, knowing that it's happening and knowing that that's what I signed up for, that's what I desired and chose. I consciously chose this, like even with my conscious mind, I remember choosing this. Choosing, I don't need anything. I know I'm absolutely free. So, God, use me in whatever way you need me to. Let me be of service. What is the most of service? And so, especially in the last 3 or 4 years, the way that these modalities and teachings have been coming through this verbal vibratory complex have allowed many people, tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people, and more counting, to be exposed to this type of material in an accessible way, coming from what they can judge as just an ordinary 28-year-old guy. So it can fit there. It's never been who I am, it's never been the truth. But it's been helpful, it's been relevant for so many, and it'll continue to be relevant for millions, most likely. And so then we have this foundation of millions of people being exposed to an accessible person, teacher, friend, that shares inaccessible or somewhat accessible language. Profound truths of creation that they can utilize and integrate in their lives in an inspiring way, and they're excited about it. So this audience will continue to build itself. The Academy, Trinity Academy, is made free. It's completely available. Everyone can, over time, more people can be exposed to this. Tons of videos on YouTube, etc. So books coming out. The content is there. I am no longer needed in that particular role. So sure, there are certain familiarities with this new version of me sharing that are somewhat similar to the previous one. But there's a great difference, which is that I've now been allowed, I've been given permission by myself, to drop much more, if not everything. And it's still happening, it's still unfolding, so I can't make conclusive statements on this. But the relief is so great, and it's so good to finally be able to be myself. Now this changes my teachings a little bit. It will not make me who I was as much. It will not allow me to present in the way that I did. It will be different. At least for me, it will be greatly different. Maybe for you, you won't even notice so much, but for me, it will be vastly different. And so now we can explore a different age together of my work, those that are connected to this body, to this particular mind, or translation device, which is really all that I am. I don't feel I am anything more. My only relevance is to translate this work to you guys, to be a channel of my true self, to have the body be a channel of my true self, and that's now pretty constant. So yeah, there's just much less filter in between. Short answer to your question, I'm doing great. I can't wait to be with you guys in presence. I always feel that I don't belong to this world. If you felt this way, how do I understand this? Mispa. Thank you, good question. Oh yes, I've always felt this way. And in fact, it's the truth. You don't belong to this world. Some more than others, but essentially, you could say nobody belongs to this world. This world it's a play. It's like booting up a video game. You don't belong to the video game world. You're the gamer behind the screen. At any given moment, you can destroy your game device. You can walk away from the television, and you're completely unharmed. Nothing that ever happens in the game world ever happens to you. People that have an awareness of this, whether because they've had more experience as a consciousness, as a soul, with all these different incarnations, and they came here for the purpose of sharing or being a beacon of light, mostly, versus people that perhaps are actually more organically, more natively a part of Earth's upbringing, so to speak, and therefore may not experience as much of an instinctual memory that they don't belong here. This might just be the face value of their life, much more. There won't be as much of a contrast. So it depends a little bit on your essence, so to speak, your blueprint, your theme. But in essence, nobody belongs to this game. This game is here to learn. It's the one infinite creator expressing itself, learning about itself, ever renewing itself in form. But none of it ever affects the true you. But if you're identified with the body, you will not experience this.
Yeah, we're not like, we don't have syrups
Tony, yeah, I'm open to that. Let's see what unfolds. It's the best way to get a download. Intend for it to happen and completely open yourself up, open your mind, become quiet, become quiet, become quiet. Want nothing from the external life so that internally you naturally gravitate towards silence. Just happens on its own. When you cease wanting anything from form, suddenly you become more rooted as the formless. The first step to anything in terms of self-realization or becoming a purer vessel, a purer channel, a better listener to your soul, to your higher consciousness, is to pause all your wants, to actively not want anything from form. And form includes your body. That's form. It's an appearance. It's not who you are. You are aware. You're aware of the body, so how could you be the body? Be aware of being aware instead, and you will know yourself more intimately. Do this repeatedly, do this for hours on end, for a day, and you will approach what you could call enlightenment or self-realization. You get a taste of this, and you can then choose if you want to continue along that path, or if you want to go back into form, so to speak, or to whatever extent you wish to have the simultaneity of that. But yeah, you need to stop. You can't be a channel for anything if you don't stop, because you're not worthy of higher information in your distracted, human-identified state. You're a walking disaster. You are a walking disaster. Unless you stop. Full stop. Stop wanting anything from anyone or anything or any form or any perception that arises in awareness. And you will know the great I am as the source, as the heart of your beingness. From there, anything is possible, really. Whatever is relevant for you will effortlessly flow to you. Is it common for it to be physically painful to go into the silence, to let go? The physical pain you experience is most likely triggered by the solar plexus ray or area, which is the ego wanting to maintain its grasp and its control. And if you start letting go of every form, if you stop wanting things and managing perceptions, then this core sense of you, this core illusion, the assumption that you are over here and everything else is over there, this sense of being me, that sense, which is based on control, which is based on the belief that you're not safe because you're limited, because you're over here and everything else is over there, you must constantly protect yourself, constantly be mentally in control and on the lookout for other types of things that may come your way that need to be managed, opportunities or things to be avoided, right? So that's the control you feel as the physical pain. Yes, this can become physical pain. If this has been your path for decades, and suddenly you're resisting that urge, that tendency to attach yourself to form, you may have physical responses to that, but it's temporary. Ignore it. Fuck it. Go beyond it. Stay put. Don't want anything, even from your physical sensations. Don't want anything from that either. Stand apart from that too. Free yourself from that too. You're not the body. Let the body feel whatever it does. Take an ice-cold shower in the morning after a warm shower, and it's a great place to recognize you're not the body. The body is in shock. The heart is going. But that's not you. You are awareness. The body is suffering. The body is feeling. The body is in shock. Same with any sensation that comes up during your practice, your spiritual practice. I want to be there so bad. Is there something I can do from home to be with you all? Are you like live streaming anything? Yes, we will launch a new platform in a matter of days. Okay, I have to do a little bit of work on the computer, and it will be finished. It's practically finished. I need to make a few tweaks. It's an online platform. It's a temporary version of the website. It's just something that we could fix together very quickly and easily. It's not the final vision of sort of the self-realization school online platform, but this will work for now, and you can sign up. You can become a member. Yes, it's membership-based. It'll be around $20 a month, and you get access to great discounts on recordings and on live streams, and there's live streams that we're going to be having that are included in that as well. So in this way, you're supporting the growth here in this community, as well as signing up, which makes you committed. You're committed. You're part of this community. So this platform will be released soon. Go sign up for our newsletter at bentinhomassaro.com. Go like my Facebook page, which you probably already do. Go to the community, Bentinho Massaro's Teaching and Community Facebook group. I request to join. It's a very tight-knit community, very supportive, very awake comparatively, as awake as communities get. Communities, oh my god. You think they're so awake? And we're beautiful, it's all beautiful. It's a pretty good community. Can kids go to the retreat? I don't know. Check the website. The link will be, I wouldn't sign up yet because it's not entirely done, but it will be bentinhomassaro.tv, okay? So there's already a website there, but don't sign up yet until it is complete, until you get an announcement from me. But you can check out the basic idea. We're still tweaking it and messing around with it. bentinhomassaro.tv is what it will be. So check back in about 5 days, a week, whatever. Sign up then, and then the event will be live streamed through there, the Sedona retreats. If you become a member, you'll get I think it's a 50% discount on the live streaming of the event, because we appreciate the monthly commitment. Desires from higher self. What about desires from higher self? When you are in a state of emptiness, when you are in a state of non-ownership, when things just flow through you, it is like creation is creating itself. And you're just getting hints, it's just like you're looking at a map from a distance, and certain points highlight themselves. There's a little there's a little red light that flashes, or a little green light over here, and it just navigates itself. It's just very effortless. You don't have to lose your sense of vastness and your sense of non-separation, and your sense of not being the body, your sense of awareness, or even beyond the great I am. You don't have to lose that consciousness, that focus, when the body is acting on these inspirations. Higher self desires are what are left, what still motivate the vehicle, what still inspire the vehicle, when you take no ownership of that, when you don't want any outcome from it, when you're completely happy as you are. How has navigating intimate relationships changed for you recently? Oh boy. It's always been, it's always the main learning ground anyway, to fine-tune oneself and to practice. It's perfect practice. It's been great. I'm not sure what to say about it at this point. It feels very empty and in the most beautiful way. I just feel love and clarity that I don't want, or that I don't accept concessions anymore. So maybe this will be interesting for some of you to share. And if you, just to sort of promote where I'm using the Wi-Fi, it's a really nice space here in Sedona. It's in the Tlaquepaque complex, where they have shops and restaurants. And I think it's called the Chai Shop or the Chai House or something. It's a really nice place to hang out. Do you eat meat? No, I recently stopped eating meat. I'm actually having only one meal a day, and I hardly drink either. But more on that maybe some other time. I've been feeling better than ever physically. This is the physical responding to me finally letting go of this delusional state. And I call it delusional state, and it sounds kind of heavy, like, oh, were you delusional this whole time? Well, we always are to an extent when we sign up for some kind of thing, depending on what that thing is. But yes, there was a layer of delusion that was deliberately chosen. So it wasn't delusion as delusion is normally the case for people. It was a consciously signed up for agreement of sorts that kept me more in this illusion. Otherwise, it's like it would just disappear, and there would be no active motivation for these things that I've created and seeds that I've been planting in the past 4 years. So that was a necessary delusion, a necessary belief system for me to accept. Now that I've let go of that, also the eating of meat, which was felt very necessary for the body, and the denseness of eating, period, has let go of me, and now there's a natural desire to eat less and less and less. And so all I really eat is maybe a couple pieces of fruit per day and some maybe a salad. And I dry fast for at least 12 hours per day, meaning no liquids and no foods. And I'm avoiding water actually now too. This is based on the Master Fast System information, which I came across, and I really liked what the guy Gino has to say. There's a Facebook group called Master Fast System. Go check it out. I haven't done the actual Master Fast yet, but I'm taking elements from it that I feel like integrating at the moment, and it's very effortless. It's perfect for the body to respond this way with the new change. So, I was going to say that about the relationships part. The purity that I know that I am now has never not been the case. It's always been there. Having been reflective of people all this time, we are like a mirror. When you become empty of self, at least to a high degree, you will start reflecting everyone and everything around you. It will not be your own stuff. No worries. So you become a mirror. And so everything that is placed in front of that mirror, the mirror will take on that shape. And then, that will be mistaken. Whatever is reflected will be mistaken to be me. Do this for long enough and surround yourself with the same people for long enough. And you start to become these people. You start to become like them. And the authenticity can start to be dimmed. This is what happened for me. Just too much exposure to other people, constant exposure for years, constantly reflecting others, and them believing that those reflections are me, reflections of me, when they are not. And I'll still stand by this to this day, no matter what anyone says or believes. But it's very difficult for someone who's not empty to understand how this works. So the support for this is very scarce still in this world. And so over time this has weighed on me, and this was part of the same thing of being able to teach at a certain level. But part of this has been my own delusion of making concessions out of remnants of insecurity, meaning sort of the youthfulness of this body and the looking at other people and giving other people credit when really I should. I mean, in a sense, I should, because it's not necessary. And so this were remnants that would seep in and that would make me feel like I had to make concessions in order to be able to be with another person so that they wouldn't feel weird. And this is still the case, but now it's empty. Now it's remembered that this is what I chose to do. And so it doesn't matter anymore. I can do it to whatever extent I want to. I can mirror the other person or actually not mirror them to whatever degree I desire in each moment. And I'm very aware of when it happens, when the reflective mechanism happens. So now I don't feel like I'm responsible for any of these things when I'm in that state, which allows me to maintain my freedom and my sense of clarity and my purity. There's a lot of support, brother. Well, thank you. Your aura's white. Maybe the wall too. So this tea shop is closing. Let's just close with a few minutes of silence. My deep love to you. Thank you for being here. Hope to see you in Sedona. If not physical, then online. And let's see who's ready for this change, for this deepening.
Did you get to try it yet?
I did. It's very
good.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's very like mellow, that one. Like the
It just tastes
like
it
floor.
smells. I like
Good.
that.
Good. That's perfect.
How do you get your name?
Rachel.
Rachel, I'm
Yeah.
Jack.
Jack, nice to meet you. What's your name?
Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie. Great to meet you both. Thanks for coming in.
Sure.
And Luke? I already met you, Luke.
I just did what you you forget me.
Oh, I won't forget you.
I
You are so happy. Who's this?
This is cute.
Kira, hi.
Dirty dog.
Oh
Running
my
around
gosh.
the rocks all day.
So sweet.
She's a good one.
She's what?
She's a good one.
Yeah, I can see
got
that.
2 dogs. One of them's at home.
Oh,
He's the best.
the other one did get your cut.
He doesn't do as well.
She doesn't do as well. My little dog likes to guard the house too. She's small, so she thinks she needs to bark, so people don't mess with her.
This one's 80 pounds and he's very scary when he barks.
Oh,
so it's not
yeah.
nice on the trail,
Oh yeah, it scares people a little.
so. All right. Well, thank you for this.
Thank you for coming in. Yeah, have a great rest of your day.
Oh, whenever we get there.
All right. Sorry, I gotta close the rest of the patio.
Yes.